Daily Trust. Despite rowdy session, House yet to finalize on minority leadership. Moving on to Nigerian Tribune. State Police Constitutional Framework near completion. Presidency. Af'Oni Iroyin demands its immediate creation. That's on page 3. Our security agents foiled plots to bomb Ondo Government House. Ayedatiwa. Oyebanji signs 2 new laws as Assembly marks 3rd anniversary. Gunmen shoot Oshun Accord chairman. Police begin probe. Court remands Ekiti local government area vice chairman for alleged 7 kidnapped to raise funds. 2027. We want to see credible election in Nigeria, British High Commissioner tells APC chairman. Hashtag Unite Against Terror. Federal government rallies citizens, media security agents in united front against terrorism. More headlines from Vanguard newspaper. CBN unveils new FX guidelines, approve cash movement to $50,000. Obi to youths, don't expect Adeboye to champion change at 84. 2027, only Jonathan can speak on his political future, ex-president's camp insists. Again, candidates write SSCE at night. Parents lament. We are working to address the issues. This is coming from WAEC. Ugochire's minority leader nomination. G60 lawmakers dismiss forgery allegation. State Police, Presidency, NAS, IGP fine-tune framework. UN demands immediate release of abducted Nigerian pupils, teachers. Judiciary under siege. Sulu Gambari eats with contempt. Risks jail over Nestor defiance. State Police Joint Lawmakers Executive Panel concludes work. Minister, Nigerians must unite to fight terrorism. U.S. reaffirms support. Oyo House rejects negotiations with kidnappers. And finally, Elders Forum to Akpabio. Steer clear of Kogi politics. That's on page 3 of the Nation newspaper. It is still the newspaper review here on JDN 101.5 FM. My name is Anna George. And now we'll be looking at the stories from the Punch newspaper. And this one is saying police arrest suspect behind AI-generated Tinubu voice note. The Nigerian police force has arrested Ifechukwu Dennis, the man identified as the originator of an AI-generated voice note that was widely circulated online as a leaked recording of President Bola Tinubu. The Presidential Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, announced that the arrest on Thursday in a post on his official X account. The IGP crack team has arrested Ifechukwu Dennis, who originated the fake voice that he passed on his gullible target as President Tinubu's voice, he said. The arrest closes a week-long controversy that began on May 27, 2026, when a video of social media activist Martins Vicent, popularly known as Very Dark Man, went viral. And in the clip, an AI-generated voice resembling Tinubu's was heard making inflammatory statements, including that insecurity in the southeast was deliberate, that he had pressured Peter Obi to step down ahead of 2023 election, and that he was indifferent to Nigeria's suffering. Invite Igboho for questioning over Oyo school abduction, Atiku's aide tells DSS. The ex-Vice President Atiku Abubakar's media advisor, Mr. Paul Ibe, has called on the Department of State Services and other security agencies to invite Yoruba Nation campaigner Sunday Igboho to disclose the identities of politicians he alleged are sponsoring kidnappers responsible for the abduction of students and teachers in Oyo State. Ibe made the call on Thursday in a post on X, arguing that security agencies should take advantage of any credible information capable of aiding efforts to rescue the victims and dismantle criminal networks behind the attack. His intervention followed recent comments by Igboho during a meeting with members of the National Association of Nigerian Students, where the activists claim he knew the politicians allegedly backing kidnappers operating in parts of the southwest. And the remarks were made against the backdrop of concerns over the abduction of students and teachers in Oriwe local government area of Oyo State, a development that has renewed fears about the spread of kidnapping and insecurity into communities traditionally considered safer than some of the country's conflict-prone regions. Ogun residents, doctors begin 3 days warning strike over theft. security breach in FMC Abeokuta. Resident doctors of the Federal Medical Center, FMC Abeokuta, on Thursday embarked on a 3-day warning strike over a recent security threat and theft incident that occurred within the hospital premises. The industrial action, which began on Thursday, June 4, 2026, was announced by the president of the Association of Resident Doctors, FMC Abeokuta, Dr. Olanipekun Arise Kola, during an emergency general meeting held on Thursday. And according to a communique issued at the end of the meeting, signed by President and the Assistant General Secretary Olufemi, the doctors resolved to unanimously withdraw their services temporarily in protest against what they described as persistent security lapses that have continued to endanger the lives and properties of healthcare workers. Osun police launch probe after gunmen shoot a court chair. The Osun State Police Command on Thursday said it has launched a probe into the attack on the court chairman for Osogbo local government area, Ashimo Ajibola, who left him battling for life at the Osun State University Teaching Hospital, Osogbo. The command, in a statement signed by its spokesperson Abiodun Ojelabi, said the incident occurred on Wednesday at about 9:50 p.m. in the MDS area of Osogbo, when two armed men riding on a motorcycle reportedly attacked the victim in an apparent attempt at murder. Ojelabi added that upon receiving the distress report, the command immediately mobilized tactical and conventional teams to the scene. A team of the police officers swiftly evacuated the victim to a medical facility where he is currently receiving treatment. Medical personnel have confirmed that Honorable Ajibola is in a stable condition and responding positively to treatment. UK universities face ban on recruiting foreign students under new immigration rules. The United Kingdom has introduced new immigration rules that could see universities banned from recruiting foreign students if they fail to meet stricter compliance requirements. The changes announced by the Home Office on Thursday are aimed at tackling high asylum claims linked to work, study, and tourist visas, with foreign students accounting for the largest share. Under the new rules, universities could lose their license to recruit internationally if more than 5% of their visa applications are refused. And previously, the visa refusal benchmark was set at 10%. The Home Office, which issues visas, said it can track both the proportion of student visa refusals and the universities recruiting affected applicants. Universities will also be stripped of the right to recruit international students if too many drop out or fail or complete their studies. And under the updated requirements, foreign students are now mandated to reach a course enrollment rate of at least 95% and a course completion rate of at least 90%. Previously, the benchmarks were 90% and 85% respectively. Federal government's debt repayments exceed budget allocation by nearly 2 trillion naira. The federal government's debt repayments exceeded the 2025 amended budget allocation by 1.90 trillion naira in the first 9 months of the year. Fresh data from the Budget Office of the Federation showed. The 2025 third quarter budget implementation report showed that total debt-related payments, included domestic debt, foreign debt and sinking fund, rose to 12.63 trillion naira between January and September, compared with the prorated budget provision of 10.74 trillion naira. This represents an overrun of 1.90 trillion naira or 17.65%. The pressure was driven mainly by debt service, which stood at 12.52 trillion naira in the first 3 quarters, against the prorated allocations of 10.45 trillion naira, showing excess spending of 2.07 trillion naira or 19.8%. Grenada opens visa-free entry, eyes Nigerian investors. Nigerian investors, professionals and entrepreneurs are being offered a new route into the Caribbean as Grenada moves to deepen economic ties with Africa through visa-free access, planned direct air links and an aggressive investment drive targeting sectors ranging from healthcare and agriculture to real estate and financial services. Speaking at a press conference in Lagos after a working visit to Grenada, the country's honorary consul in Nigeria, Bidemi Shinoki, said the Caribbean nation was positioning itself as a strategic platform for Nigerian businesses seeking opportunities beyond traditional markets. If you'd like to react to any of the stories this morning, you can call the studio line 07048001015, 07048001015, or 08022102163, 08022102163. Nollywood actor and politician Emeka Ike has said he felt insecure for the first time in his life following the exposure of his personal data at the Independent National Electoral Commission. Speaking on News Central Television in a video shared on X on Thursday, the Nigeria Democratic Congress House of Representatives aspirants described the incident as an abuse of power, adding that it raised concerns about citizens' safety and data protection in the country. Ike confirmed that he has initiated legal proceedings against Larry Olayinka, media aide to the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike. He said it was shocking, it was so disturbing that he felt unsafe. He also alleged that the incident reflected what he described as political recklessness and abuse of authority. finally come to an end of today's edition of the newspaper review here on JDN 101.5 FM. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Anna George, and up next is Af'Oni Iroyin by 8 a.m. Keep listening to JDN 101.5 FM and do have a great day.